Jesus did not hide the cost of following him. He explicitly stated that you will be hated for his namesake. But lo and behold, he made a promise. He said, those who endure to the end will be saved. He didn't hide the fact that you will be persecuted. He didn't hide it and beat around the bush and say, if you would be persecuted. He didn't say, maybe, if you encounter the wrong type of people, maybe, just maybe you will be persecuted. He told the apostles that they will be persecuted. But he also said, if you endure to the end, you will be saved. I don't know about you, but that promise makes me want to endure. I remember playing football, and we had football coaches, and they coach very well. They love you, they teach you, they guide you, and it makes you want to run through a big brick wall for that coach. That's how I feel about Jesus. I know there's going to be pain. I know there's going to be suffering. I know there's going to be some lying on. I know there's going to be some difficult moments. I know there's going to be obstacles. I know there's going to be trials. I know that it's going to hurt at times, even from those who say they love you. But that promise, you just can't get it out of your head. He said, those who endure to the end will be saved. Will be saved. Today we're coming from the book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 22. And this is what it reads. And you will be hated for all my name's sake, but the one who endures to the end will be saved. You will be hated by all for his name's sake. Now watch this. In verse 21, he highlighted that there will be family members that hate you and persecute you. He said there's people in your towns and the people that you're close with is going to hate you and persecute you. And all of this stuff is going to hit you out of nowhere. Because there's going to be people that you least expect will deliver you over to be persecuted. There's going to be people in your inner circle who portray a type of loyalty to you, but deep inside there's resentment towards you, and those will be the ones who would deliver you over to be persecuted. So Jesus, there's a transition taking place. There's a shift in the dynamic. He started in verse 21 about the family, your close family and friends, and your inner court or your inner circle turning on you, switching sides on you. But now in verse 22, he expands the scope of the warning. He says this opposition would not only come from a few, not only come from family members, but it will spread universally for his name's sake. Now watch this. This shows us how when yeast enters into a situation, it continues to expand. You can't take the yeast out, just like you can't take the Jesus out. Jesus is saying, I am going to be where you are. Wherever you are, that's where it's going to start. But the further you expand, everywhere you go, there's going to be opposition. Overcome those in the same towns and the people that claim they love you. But when you go beyond the confines of the people of your closeness or your sacred spaces with people that you've grown to have allegiance to, and then you go beyond that, you will see that every step that you take there's going to be opposition, there's going to be persecution. It starts where you are, but the more you endure, the more persecution that you're going to encounter. That just blessed me right there. So he expands the scope to not only family and friends in your tight knit circle, and to the people who know you, and to the communities that you're a part of. But he said, when you go beyond that, there's going to be persecution. Hatred for his name will be widespread, and his followers should expect it. This reminds me of a conversation that I was having last night, actually, with a friend of mine, a brother in Christ, Pastor Eric Stoder. He said, there's something about that name that people are afraid to say. And this is what he said. I'm paraphrasing, but I'm very close to what he said. He said they would say the Son, they would say in the name of, they would say all of this stuff beating around the bush, but it's just something about that name that people are afraid to say. Because they know that there will be persecution when they attach themselves to Jesus Christ. Are you afraid to attach Jesus Christ to whatever you have going on? Jesus is letting you know, he has warned us that there will be persecution. It's not a if, this is a when you mention his name, there will be persecution. Because the moment you begin to follow him, the moment you begin to take everything that he took, you begin to get whipped and spit on and lied on. You begin to be persecuted and delivered. You begin to deliver to the enemies. You begin to take on the whips that he has taken on. Are you willing to attach Jesus Christ's name to yours? I can tell you this, me and my family are. We are willing to attach our name, Jesus' name, to our name. And we're also willing to take whatever comes with it. I remember I used to say, before I was saved, I know y'all been saved your whole life, but before I was saved, when someone had a problem or an issue or claimed they had an issue with me, I would always say, however it goes. We're going to go however you want it to go. So yes, I was about the mess, but now we're coming to fix the mess. However it goes. That's how I feel about the attacks of the enemy. However it goes. Whatever thing you try to hit me with, however it goes. However it goes. Because the promise is guaranteed to the people who endure to the end. Now watch this. If you endure, you receive the promise. If you endure, you receive the promise. Now here's the key. Jesus forewarns them so that they will be forearmed. If you've been listening to me for quite some time, you would notice that I say that quite often, especially when Jesus prophesies over your life. He forewarns them so that they can be forearmed. Persecution is real, so is the promise. He assures us the one who endures to the end will be saved. The warning that he has given us is not to make us frightened, to intimidate us, or make us turn the other way, but it's actually equipping us. It's equipping us for us to go forward remaining steadfast because we're no longer anticipating, we're no longer guessing if something will happen. We're actually expecting it to happen. And if you expect for it to happen, you are prepared for it to happen. Mm. So, what does endure even mean? What does endure even mean? It means to remain steadfast and patient through suffering, hardship, or persecution, not by your own strength, but by God's grace. Not by your own strength, but by God's grace. Not by your own strength, but by God's grace and the power of Christ's atonement. Endurance is more than making a verbal commitment. It's living out that commitment when the attacks come. Now, watch this. This is the key. Following Jesus is not limited to sunny skies and friendly faces. It's not reserved for the mountaintop. It also includes walking to the storm, into the storm, but also walking faithfully even when surrounded by the wolf pack. Mm. So we've been warned so that we won't be surprised. Keep pressing forward. Keep advancing the kingdom. Now, I know it may be painful. You may feel lonely. You may feel uncomfortable at times. But Christ has guaranteed that endurance leads to salvation. Endurance leads to saving. Remain steadfast. Remain faithful. You will endure and you will be saved. Yes, it may hurt. Yes, you may feel like you've been oppressed. You may feel like you're being suppressed. But Jesus said, in spite of all of that, if you just endure, in spite of that, you will be saved. That's a promise. Walk in that promise. Receive that promise. Live in that promise. And that promise will be yours. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time, I absolutely love y'all. Until next time.